Okay, after seeing how crappy my video looked on the build portion of it and not showing hardly any details, I'm going to do a walk around on this. Me carrying the phone so you can actually see what the setup looks like and how it actually all goes together properly. So we'll start with the frame and how all that works. And as you can see here, one of the corners is the control unit for the thing that holds that steady and stable. And if you look right in here, those are the only bolts to hold the frame together. So it's a single piece going inside each tube here from each corner that holds it laterally together, and then the feet and the control unit are used to stabilize the whole thing and keep it squared up. The assembly process was really super simple, other than it was like 90 degrees and sweat pouring down into my eyes the whole time. So there is that issue. If we look right here on the gantry, I said it didn't matter where the thumb screws were, the way to mount the mounting bracket for the laser. The thumb screws have to go on the right hand side, otherwise it does not. They hit in here and they do not let the unit actually find its home position where it's supposed to be. So that makes all the difference in the world. Now all the connections were simple. It's just I was looking at the instructions and trying to follow those instead of just looking at the unit. So we'll start here. Is the control stuff comes out, goes into the wire loom here, and the control for the head runs through that wire loom. All the connections between the two are done down here, where it's basically color matched. You have red to red, white to white. And the thing I was struggling with trying to figure out, I was thinking either the red or the white off the main loom went to this motor. Well, it doesn't. It's the blue wire that comes up through there. And this phone is just crappy for autofocus. That controls that motor. And then as the red supplies the power, and then the white supplies the signal to the other motor through the second loom up to the top here. And then you also have the power and signal to the laser. And again, this stupid thing is not focusing. I know everybody complains about it, but I got no control over that. As far as the tubing and structures, this thing is rock freaking solid. These tubes are really, the extrusions are really nice. There's awesome etching for, I don't know if I got too much light on this or not, for measurements and how to follow. Let's look on the side rail here, maybe it shows up better. Yeah, there we go. And the measurements are all marked on there, so it gives you, if you wanted to zero things out by eye and all. And then I saw for the cutting portion that you need some kind of backing so you don't burn through whatever you're doing. So this metal grid here was reasonably cheap. It looks like it's well made as well. And there's a stainless flat plate actually underneath it to reflect or absorb the laser that gets past anything you're cutting. Straight shiny surface like that will not absorb the laser and cut it. It just dissipates it, I guess, somehow or whatever. Anyway, that's what I gathered on from internet stuff. And if you look at the gantries and stuff and how they're made, the drive system is one long bar that drives both sides. The belts keep it even and stable. The wheels on this system too. Here, let me get around here. The wheels are pretty solid. They got decent bearings on them. And then underneath, the mounting for the bottom one actually has a cam in it, and that's where I tightened it up and made the adjustment to keep it from rocking side to side. But you also, when you set that up, they recommend that before you put all the wires and stuff on, right after you mount the gantry, is you put that on there and you tilt the whole unit up at a 45-degree angle, and that wheel should be tight enough that it slowly travels across the length. Now, with the belts on, obviously it's not going to go anywhere because the extra tension, and they're tied in and all that stuff. But when you set that up, make sure you do that step so everything travels nice and free. There's no stability issues or rocking or shaking. Everything slides super nice. I gotta play around with it, but I may back one of the sides off just a little bit. It seems a little tight, like in this area here, like there's a binding or something. So I'm going to work on that. And so far I'm like super happy with it. And I have a fretboard here. It kind of looks green, but it's not. It's I tried that vinegar and steel wool trick to see about dyeing it that way, and that's what it turned out with after a couple of passes. This is what it looks like now without any of that done. So that's part of the next part of the build here. And then to test out the laser and see how it did its job, I was playing around with power, and I started out with scraps of wood on base settings, and the laser was coming up at 100% power all the time. So after watching a few videos, I watched that you can change the speeds. So the first thing I tried doing was 1,000 millimeters per second at 100 watt or 100% power, and it literally would light the wood on fire. So after watching some videos, I did the spacing on this again, and then this is 5 passes of 100 watt or 100% power, but 3,000 millimeters per second. So that seems to be a nice resolution for doing finer details. Now I also found out that I can change the amount of lines per pass, and this one was doing, I think, 4 as the base. So at four lines, you can see the gaps in there. Going two lines would eliminate that. So I'm playing around with that, learning it. It's really super simple, and when I get to that process, I'll screen capture my computer and show you how all that's set up and run, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following this stuff, guys. I really appreciate the support, all the comments, and all the likes. So more to come.